Finally, finally, we finally have some information about what David Lynch's Unrecorded Night was going to be about. This comes to us from IndieWire. Thank you, IndieWire. It says David Lynch's Unrecorded Night would have been a mystery series about filmmaking and old Hollywood, says DP. Cinematographer Peter Deming, who of course has worked with David Lynch on an enormous amount of projects, tells us about the scrapped Netflix series, which he called another LA canon for him. The loss of David Lynch's genius is still being mourned amid new details of yet another shelved project from the late auteur. Lynch died at age 78 in January 2025. His frequent collaborator, Naomi Watts, has shared that she and Laura Dern were ready to collaborate again with Lynch in late November 2024. Now, Lynch's longtime cinematographer, Peter Deming, is revealing the genre of one of Lynch's many outstanding scripts, Unrecorded Night. Deming previously worked with Lynch on Twin Peaks and the early series On the Air, plus Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive. According to the DP, Lynch's would-be Netflix series, Unrecorded Night, would have been a mystery tonally along the lines of his classic LA set films, which of course are Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. Unrecorded Night was first shelved due to COVID and later stalled once more after Lynch's emphysema diagnosis. Lynch had planned to write and direct 13 episodes. We were right. IMDb was right. 13 episodes. Ugh. Which was first developed under the working title of Wisteria. Let's give some clarification. That was Netflix's working title, not necessarily David Lynch's, but everyone went with it. Hence all the purple flowers we would see online. See, this is all making sense now. We weren't crazy. Shortly before he passed, well, like a year, because it was pre-COVID. I think Peter Deming's a little got the years off here because a year ago wasn't pre-COVID. That was it was 2024. Anyway, shortly before he passed, well, like a year, because it was pre-COVID, there was Unrecorded Night, which he had written. I read it, and we actually went out on one scout looking at locations. Remember the rumors about that, right? That David Lynch was out scouting someplace and people saw him and everyone dismissed it. See, it was real too. Then COVID hit, so everything shut down and it never rekindled. He continued, it's definitely its own original thing, and how it was formatted, I don't really know. It was going to be a lot of episodes because David really liked what he called the continuing story. Because I tried to, I really love the feature stuff, but he was like, I'm not going to make any more movies. I'm just going to make longer stories because I love the longer story. In fact, with Twin Peaks: The Return, we weren't really sure how many episodes there was going to be until it got into post-production, which we'd all heard about. Ready for this? Because it wasn't really written that way. Here we are, confirmation time. It was written as a 550-page film. Let's say it again. It was written as a 550-page film. Usually people say it's like 500 pages. We have now confirmation from Peter Deming himself, Lynch's longtime cinematographer, 550 pages. Man, oh man, what I would give to read that. So, how was that slice and dice really was a post-production question. Unrecorded Night was the same way. That's interesting considering it just said 13 episodes. It took me 3 sittings to read it because it was so thick, but it was definitely not Twin Peaks. All right. There's another confirmation. Deming added, it was definitely a really interesting mystery, I would say. Yeah, it's too bad. It really is, because it would have been good. When asked about plot details, Deming could only go on record to say that Unrecorded Night would be set in LA. You know, I have to talk to Sabrina Sutherland about this. Are we letting this cat out of the bag or not? I don't want to be premature about that. He loved to make films about Los Angeles. He wasn't trying to hide the setting. Lost Highway, while not implicit, was certainly implied. Mulholland Drive was obvious. Inland Empire was obvious. To me, this was another LA canon for him, and one that sort of mixed in filmmaking and old Hollywood a bit. And it was just maybe number 4 in that line of products. Number 4 in quality? I don't know what he means by that. Netflix's co-CEO Ted Sarandos cited that the studio was all in on making Unrecorded Night in an Instagram tribute to Lynch after his passing. He came into Netflix to pitch a limited series, which we jumped at. It was a David Lynch production, so filled with mystery and risks, but we wanted to go on this creative ride with this genius. First COVID, then some health uncertainties led to this project never being produced. But we made it clear as soon as he was able to, we were all in. And there it is. Unrecorded Night was going to be presumably at least 13 episodes. It was going to be set in LA. It was going to be in line with the LA trilogy before it. But also that Twin Peaks season 3 was a 550-page screenplay. Thank you, Peter Deming, for clarifying as much as you did. This is wonderful to hear. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to us if you haven't already. This is amazing, heartbreaking, but I just it's good to know that we weren't insane. That, you know, all the stuff that we had heard, you know, may not have been everything 100%, but it was close enough, and we were putting the pieces together, Harry. And while it may not have been involved with Twin Peaks, it definitely would have had some connections, just because it was David Lynch, and all his films and shows have connections like that. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know about this. Hopefully you are all having a great day. Take it easy and stay safe out there, California. Hang in there. I'll see you soon. Take it easy.